All right, so today we're going to learn how to draw the human face. And here's an example of a finished drawing. And for this work, you're going to need a piece of paper, a pencil, and an eraser. And that's all you need. So once you've gotten your pencil and eraser and paper, you're ready to begin. So this is my paper, and the very first thing that I always want to do is I want to draw an oval. Now an oval is different than a circle. A circle is round, an oval is long. So that's what I'm going to do first, is I'm going to draw my oval. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it looks long like a head does. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a neck. Now when we add a neck, we want to make sure that that neck is wide. You'll notice that your neck actually comes right down from the side of your ears. It's strong. It's not really skinny like a lollipop, like a lot of people draw their necks. So it's just going to come right off the side of the head, and it's going to curve down like that. So you can see that's a nice strong neck to hold up our head. And the next thing that we're going to do, following the instructions that I showed you earlier, is we're going to put a shirt on that person. Now the shirt could be round or it could be V-neck, either which way. And then you're going to come outward for those shoulders. Now you'll notice that my shoulders are bigger than my head. They're wider. My head's here, my shoulders are out here. Sometimes people like to draw their shoulders really skinny, but then our shoulders are not big enough to hold up our head. So we've got our shoulders, our neckline, our neck, and our head. And we move on to step 3. Now in step 3, we're going to draw our guidelines, and when we do guidelines, we want to do them lightly. So we can see them, but we can erase them easily later. The first guideline is straight down the middle of our face, just like you were drawing a line right here, because you'll notice that that is the point where our face is symmetrical. This side and this side are almost just the same. So that's our line of symmetry. The next line that we're going to do is halfway between the top of our head and our chin. And you'll find out that if you put your thumb underneath your chin and put it right in the middle of your eye area above your nose and move it up to the top of your head, that it is the same distance. The top of my head to my eye and my eye to the bottom of my chin. Your eyes are actually in the middle of your head. The next line we're going to draw is about halfway between the top of our head and the eye line. And the last line is halfway between the chin and the eye line. And so now I've got my guidelines all set up, and I move on to step 4. Now in step 4, I'm creating my ears and my eyes. Now our ears are interesting in that if you actually put your fingers on your ear and follow them around, you'll find that your ear goes from your eye level all the way down to your mouth level. And so that's exactly where we're going to draw those ears, from the eye level down to our mouth line. From the eye level down to the mouth line. So that's where our ears sit on our face. And I already told you that this is where our eyes are going to be. So they're going to be right there and right there. And to make the eye, if I just draw a half of a football, it works really nicely. Just a half of a football here and a half of a football here. And when I've got those halves of footballs drawn, I can come back and draw a circle in here. Now this circle is the pupil of our eye. It's the big part that has color in it. It may be blue or green or brown. And then inside of that, I'm going to draw a smaller circle, and that's the part that's black. And that's called the iris. The iris is actually a hole in our eye where the light comes in. But you can go ahead and color the iris in dark. I sometimes like to leave a little spot of brightness on it. But that's our basic eye. So when we finished our basic eye, we're going to move on, and we're going to add a nose and eyebrows. So this is where our nose is going to sit just above that midline. And I like to make noses real simple. So a tiny little line, it looks almost like a smile. And then out to the side, we're just going to draw the edge of that nostril. So the edge of the nostril coming in here, dipping down below that little tiny smile. And the nose is just really simply done like that. You can add more details to it later if you want. But there's our nose, and then our eyebrows are right here above our eyes. And there they are, and that finishes step 5. So we're moving on to step 6, and in step 6, we're adding the mouth. So right here, the mouth is going to sit between the line and the bottom of the chin. And the mouth is actually as wide as from the center of our pupil, straight down. If we're looking straight ahead, that's how wide our mouth is. So I'm going to just sort of carry me a little line down there. I'm going to put a dot for one edge. Carry me a little line down here. Put a dot for the other edge. So those are the two sides of my mouth, and I'm just going to make a gentle curve right there. So a gentle curve, that's the midline of my mouth. The next thing I'm going to do is draw just a little curve up here for this top part of my lip, right like that. And then a small curve down here for the bottom of my lip, just like this. And so those are my basic lip lines, and I'll fill it in a little bit later. All right, so that was step 6, so now we're going on to step 7. Oops. And in step 7, we're filling in the lips and adding that little chin line. So here we go. So we go from this point where we drew up to the edge of the mouth. From this point that we drew down to the edge of the mouth. And we do the same thing on the other side. And so now our mouth is complete. And now we add a little line right here. You'll notice that there's sort of a shadow there at your chin. And so we like to add that in to define our chin. So step 8, we're going to be adding the hairline. So the hairline is going to go from right here, and I know everybody thinks their hairline is up here, but it's really not, because we can see a lot of hair from here to here. And so this is where our hairline goes, and it kind of sweeps across, and then it kind of dips down near our eyebrow. You can see it on me. It dips down, and then it kind of comes in front of the ear. You can see how my hair comes down here in front of my ear, and then goes back up. Same thing on the other side, down near the eyebrow, right in front of the ear, and back up. Now at this point, some of you may think this looks just like a boy. Well, it looks kind of like a boy or a girl with a very short haircut, but we could change it from this to be any kind of person we want. This is just our basic structure. So in this drawing, we took and we made that person into a girl. But it could have been made into a boy or someone else. And you'll notice too that there's a little line under the eye here. I forgot about that. I'll show you how to add that in. All right, so first we're going to add that little line under the eye, and we're just going to sweep it like this. Just a simple line under the eye like that. Now, let's see, how do I want to do my hair this time? I think I'm going to do it kind of short, kind of long. So what I'm going to do back here is I'm going to act like there's some hair poking out behind this person. They kind of have a short, medium haircut, right? And then I'm going to add some hair up here on the top. Now this person has a part. Their hair parts over here, and some of it goes this way and some of it goes this way. So I'm going to bring their hair down. And you notice how I'm making my hairlines curved? That helps me see which way the head goes. And they've got a little bit of hair hanging in front of their ear there. And then we're going to kick up some of the hair back here. There we go. Well, now we have a person with half of a hair of head. So let's see. You know, I think this person likes to wear their hair kind of in front of their eye. So I'm going to bring this one over here And they're gonna wear this part of their hair kind of down in front of their eye. Do you know people who do that? Sometimes I get frustrated because I can't see what they're thinking, but it does look cute. All right, and so once again, I'm always coming from the part and I'm going over, 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 over. And there's their hair coming that way. I'm gonna just add a little bit more. You know, some people might say this is a girl and some people might say it's a boy. I'm not sure. I could add more details to make it look more like a girl or more like a boy if I wanted to. I can add a collar. But remember that the very last step that I showed you on my drawings was that we take what we've drawn and we erase the guidelines. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna get my eraser. It's always better to use one of these instead of just your pencil top. And I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna try and erase all my guidelines. Now when I erase my guidelines, I might erase some of my other lines, but it's okay because I can just come back and draw them back in. So there's that symmetry line. It's going away. A little bit in the hair. And that's pretty good. And now I'm going to erase this line. And I'm going to try and erase this eye line without taking too much of the face away. And I don't want those back there, so take those away too. Now another time I'll make another video about different hairstyles because there's a lot of hairstyles that you can do. And if you're a beginner, you may be frustrated trying to figure out how to do different hair. All right, so now I've got it erased, but now I want to come back. I'm going to come back and fill in those lines. So I erased a little of my eyebrow and a little of my nose and a little bit of that lip. So you can see how I'm just refilling it in so that it's not hidden. And coming down for that chin. And let's see, oh, part of the cheek and this hair. So let's see. Yeah, that's actually pretty fun. I wonder, you know, I think that's a boy. And I think his name is Leo. So I'm gonna write Leo right here. Leo. Thanks for watching. Bye.